Hey, sorry, don't know what happened there.
Yeah, sorry everybody.
Uh,
I was trying to manage the call and had some technical difficulties and it caused a crash. Sorry.
thanks, Bryce. Um, Blake should be getting back in. Okay, Blake said that he lost internet, so he's gonna take a minute. Where was he talking? He was where's Victor? Victor, do you want to take this piece or you want me to do it?
Yeah, we can both tackle it if you want to. Let me turn my camera on here. So, hi everyone. My name is Victor Martinez. I will be the coaching director for the 9v9s, and I'll go and continue where he left off, with Blake left off. I'm trying to find here if I can share that with you. I don't think so, since I'm not the host. It won't allow me to, but I'll just give it a rundown where Blake was going. The Just give me 1 second. Let me open this up. Okay. So as you were saying, on the 99 model, we'll have a little bit more games. So it'll be 2, maybe 3 games per age group. And the Navy teams, the Academy model, will be training 2 to 3 times a week. We'll be playing some sort of premier level league play. That will be either Premier, Silver, or something to that effect of which level we'll be going. Some of those players will be attending State Cup. This is will be attending State Cup. Let me get here to this other place here. Yeah, Academy Navy Naval team, Navy teams. Some of the dates will be winter highlights. I'm trying to get this up where you guys could see it. I'm not able to get it done. This will be a lot easier for you guys to follow along. Uh, let's see. Jessica, is there any way that you can get that little pamphlet up that Jason sent out?
I am not the host, so let me.
You could
Oh wait, I have a share screen. Here we go.
you could also stick it in the chat.
There we go. Can you all see that?
There we go.
So, there we go. You want to start there?
Yeah, sure. So I was saying the general overview. These are going to be premier level teams, the Academy Navies, and we'll be going attending State Cup with the little ones. I don't think that the State Cup will be probably a little bit of a maybe a little bit of a drive, not a drive that you're not familiar to. You're looking at about Portland. Um, we will be having club-wide tournaments, which means the entire club goes to a particular tournament. As you mentioned, we're thinking about going to Mount Hood, if you see the dates below there. And additional tournaments are options. We don't know exactly which tournaments we'll be going to, those additional ones, but we'll be attending others. I know that there's the one in Salem. It potentially be a one in Salem, a little more local, and or back to Portland of some sort. I know Eugene also has things putting together as well too, but I'm not sure what has been decided as of yet. Once we get that, we will let you know right away what direction we're going, if there's any other additional tournaments that we'll be attending. As far as the calendar looks like right now, we'll be having tryouts coming up here on the 6th through the 17th. So the team will be having, obviously it's a 99, so the team formations be a little bit different. I think they're to be running about I think it's a 4-3-1, I believe it will be. That's you don't know what, if Jessica never said anything to you in regards, I'm sure she has, but it's the placement of the players where they're going to be playing. We will train until school gets out in the middle of June. I guess that's what I'm understanding. And no team training from June to the middle of July. I think I had a date in another one when we come back. Then we will start there it is, on the 22nd of July. We'll return on the 22nd of July, and then we'll start the fall training. And on the 2nd and 4th, we'll be going to Mount Hood. And our leagues will start in early August, maybe. Oh, no, actually, no, they do. They will start in August, sometime in August, maybe early September. That's when the league will start. We'll be doing training at that time, but I believe they'll start in September. We will be going through from September, the start of September, until basically January. So it'll be a fall and winter league together. They go back to back. And then from mid-January to May will be our winter and spring seasons, which will get about the same amount of teams. About the same amount of games. I don't know if there'll be a tournament at that time. We will let you know that immediately as well.
I can jump in right there, Victor. After the fall season, though, our white teams will participate in either the Presidents or Founders Cup. We're waiting to hear back from OYSA whether they're going to continue the Presidents Cup. But the plan right now is to have our white teams participate in Presidents Founder Cup after the fall season. And then after the spring season, we will have the Navy teams participate in State Cup.
So I know that was kind of all over the place and a quick overview. But I want to give you all some time for questions because we only have about 15 more minutes. And I know there's questions out there and clarifications.
Jess, I have a question about summer schedules and if kids are going to be gone for a week or two, how much that's going to matter for Navy versus white in general.
In general, summer, we know people take vacations, so we're willing to work with that. Not a huge deal. And that's why we wanted to give you the tournament dates early-ish so that you can kind of hopefully plan around that. I know a lot of people have their plans already set already.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, can you all, I have another one from the
sure.
one. Can you talk a little more about like kind of selection and like what that looks like? And do the kids have any kind of, if they want to try for one team or the other, does that come into play or?
I can let Victor speak a little bit more to this. The only thing I'll say is I think we kind of anticipate when people come out to tryouts, they are gonna want to be on that Navy team. And if it comes to it and they're offered a place on the Navy team, but they really want to be on white because maybe that's where their friends are, or maybe that's just kind of what they want to do, then that would be definitely open for a discussion. As far as anything else, Victor, do you have any?
Yeah, pretty much just kind of backing that up. Kids will be selected. They're obviously it's a selection process, and we're going to be looking at everybody's skill level. But I don't think there's going to be like a choice in whether you can play on the Navy. I mean, you make the Navy, you choose not to play on it, then we can discuss it. To go, as Jessica mentioned, to go with your friends and everything, but to just try out for a single team will probably not be a good idea. You just basically want to get in the pool and have your kid do the best he can. And I'm sure we will see it. We will see it and put him in the appropriate place. And what we want to make sure that he's developing in the right stages at the right times and stuff. And if he gets placed on the wrong team, for example, if we place him on the Navy team and he's just not ready for the Navy team, it might be counterproductive. So we want to be careful in making those choices.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, sure.
I have a question. Yeah, I don't know what the difference is between Navy and white teams. I feel like there's some assumptions here, and I'm not sure where I need to go to learn what's not being said here.
Oh, no, that's a great question. Our Navy teams are going to be our more higher level skilled teams. And then the white team would be just more developmental. And if there's enough for 3 teams, then we kind of add a color. Burgundy, I think, might be our 3rd team. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bryce or Victor or Blake.
No, that's correct. It will be.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That Corvallis meeting on May 22nd, that's for everybody, regardless of Albany or Corvallis.
Correct.
And one more thing to add to that, it doesn't mean that if, for example, let's just say your kid did not make it, it doesn't mean he won't be put into the Navy team as he gets better.
Okay.
So there's always room for improvement. The only reason we have those levels is sometimes they need a little bit of more specific work and it is to be more advanced. As Jessica said, they're working on their confidence when they're 1v1. They're getting more confident in general. Their skills are a little bit higher, and so we'll continue that. And we're going to be introducing more things on top of that now, so they have more to think about too, and involve the skills that she worked on them, and they've been promoted to 9v9. But if for example your kid doesn't have those and needs a little more time, that's what the white and the other teams and the Burgundy teams are for, so they can get additional work and slow it down a little bit so they can get it.
Thank you. It's probably premature to ask about when practices are anticipated to be.
Yes.
Sorry to break in, and sorry, I lost internet. On the website is, and we don't have it in here. Well, it does say the months and stuff that we're training. We have to figure out who the coaches are and where they fit in their time as well. So, what they can make, and also just all the teams together and trying to figure out the whole schedule. But they'll stay consistent throughout each particular season. So summer, the days and times will be consistent, and the fall the same way. Spring gets a little bit more difficult because we have less field space in certain parts of the month, but in general, we try to keep those days and times as consistent as possible.
One other thing I just want to mention too, not sure if it was really clear, is going from the pre-competitive, we were community-based, there was the Albany East teams and the Corvallis West teams. Now moving up to 9v9, those get mixed in. So now you'll be training in Albany or Corvallis, but the teams aren't going to be separated by town. Libby, I saw you have a question.
Oh, hey, yeah, thanks. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. I was going in and out of the Zoom call, so you might have already answered these questions, but I'm curious, do you have a number that you put on the Navy team, like that you're looking for, a number of kids on that team?
I can answer that. It partly depends on the number in the pool.
Okay.
So 9-a-side teams will typically, we like the number 12. 12 is a good number, but 13 is certainly possible. Last year, our 2013s on the Navy had 15, which became very difficult for playing time.
Yeah.
And really what we're trying to do is get these kids to play a lot. What we did last year with the 2012s, we only had, I think, 28 in the pool, but we formed 3 teams. And so that made it somewhat difficult on our end, but it provided a lot of playing time for everybody. So we had players from the white moving, like Victor was saying, early players in the white moving into the Navy. Sometimes and oftentimes the Navy would go down and play with, some of the players would play with the white teams and the white would play with the Burgundy. So we still mix that up a lot. And the reason for it is because what we were talking about is the developmental is different. We want to get the kids exposed to everything. And these kids are all, we want them to be friends and and they're going to play with each other as they go along in their OVF life. So, we don't want to separate these teams. And oftentimes, I don't know if Victor and Jess mentioned that, but we will also pool train specifically in the summer and early fall so that the kids are together and the coaches are together. We won't, they're all in the same stages. Some are going to be a little bit more physically advanced or technically advanced, but yeah, we want to keep those kids together. So it is dependent, but typically we'll keep the Navy team pretty light so that we can move people up into the rosters. So yeah.
Okay. And then the number of teams for the number of games, is that differentiated between the type of team that they're on, or do they all get the same number of games per season?
Yeah, right now OSA, which was a really good move last year, in general, you'll play one game on a weekend, which is fantastic. It used to be that you'd play 12 games, I think, in an 8-week period and have a lot of games, sometimes twice a weekend. Now, if there's odd number of teams in the league, or because of scheduling issues, teams ask for certain things, there may be some weekends that you play 2, and then you may not play on a different weekend. That happens as well. But generally, it's going to be 8 games. And if we have a team that plays in the Premier League, which we hope the Navy team would be doing, they'd probably get 10 games. So 10 or 11, I think, depending on the size of the league. Yeah.
During auditions, are you like trying out kids for certain positions, or are you just kind of looking at like the top 12 for the Navy team? How does that work?
Yeah, positions are excuse me. Positions are really, we hopefully not defining kids by certain positions, right, at this point, because part of their education and their growth is that we're trying to put them in different spots to learn different things all the time. So of course we want to win games, but that isn't the piece that we're most concerned about. It's exposing them to I think Victor may have talked about building out of the back and putting kids in all those spots, and we'll do those things in practice. Certainly if the Navy team's playing Premier, we've got to be a little bit better about putting certain kids in certain spots, just because it's very, very competitive and we need to put players into their best spots. But we also are very aware that their development is really important, and putting them in places where they have to learn and struggle. It's a good thing. So, if a kid just wants to play forward, then we're probably going to make him have to play some defense and some midfield and stuff like that. So, we're not going to just hone people in, especially at the 2014 age group. They're just young and still developing.
What about with the goalkeeper position, pertaining to where you're looking at kids?
That's a good question. We don't want to force kids to play goalkeeper, but I definitely think it depends on, we're going to try to encourage kids to play, but we don't want to just, especially that 2014 age group, just have them playing goalkeeper. I think that's just not great. Obviously, with the way goalkeepers are now, they got to be really good with their feet. They got to be able to read the game, and putting them in different spots is pretty important. We do have goalkeeper training on Friday nights, and Victor, with a little bit of support from me, we're working on getting some shooting goalkeeping nights just besides Friday night. So we'll have some more clinics for kids if they want to do that. So goalkeeping training is certainly a big part of it, and all these kids would be encouraged to go to those things. But hopefully we're at 2014 where we have 4 or 5 goalkeepers and we're rotating around. Some years, this last year, I think one of the age groups, I think 2013 boys may have only had 1 goalkeeper, so we still had to force people into play. Sometimes that kid could go out and play on the field. So hopefully
thanks.
Hopefully that gives.
Yeah, that helps. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have a sense of the kind of timetable between the tryouts and the team formation meeting? Do we get information before the team formation meeting in terms of where our son is going to be placed, or do we find out at the team formation meeting kind of
Yeah, so we're speeding things up this year. Right after tryouts, I used to do this all the time, way back when I was much younger and running clubs. I wouldn't let the coaches leave the last tryout date until we had things sorted out. And the past few years, we've let them to go, and then it's hard to get things sorted out after that. So we will be sending out tryout results the week of the last tryout days. So somewhere in that Thursday or Friday, and people will know where what team they're on. So hopefully that's pretty quick turnaround. And of course, if you have questions or anything, we'll be able to answer those at the team formation meeting. But it'll be pretty quick turnaround as far as the results. And now with pretty significant emails and pieces that we can do now, we can get that stuff out pretty quickly. So that's the plan.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Guys, the meeting's gonna end actually because we have another meeting with the girls' side. So sorry, keep emailing questions though, and ask me questions at practice and stuff. We can hash things out as needed.
Or feel free to give me a call. I think if you have my contact information, should be on the website or somewhere you can find it if you have any further questions. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys very much for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks.